Brain food. Random stimulation for the brain.
So a little while ago, I showed you how to make one of these fantastic Captain America shields. But I've had a lot of questions since then. A lot of them asking, can you throw it? Can you do this with it? Can you do that with it? And to be honest, I didn't really think about that. So I'm going to put that all right in this video and really put it through its paces. It's exactly the same construction technique as before, with a few little design tweaks and made a little bit smaller and lighter out of an easy to acquire mould. On the back, I've not really tried to finish it very much because basically we're going to be smashing it to pieces. So it still has a reasonably nice sturdy handle. It's very, very tough and light. You have no trouble manoeuvring it, and let's get on with smashing it to pieces.
Google asks if it's durable.
We've got a little bit of grass and stuff ground into the face, but I don't think there's anything really there that won't polish out. I don't even think the paintwork's damaged, to be honest. You? Right, I'm here with my mate Matt today, and he's going to try to hammer me to death with this baseball. Go on, me old pal, let me have it. Oh,
I broke it.
Oh, my shield stars come off. That's the damage so far. The stars fell off, but that's about all. So apart from a scuff there and a little bit of paint removed there where the star was glued, I'd say no damage at all, virtually none to the paint either. Bonus.
The bee boxers and others ask, can I throw it without it breaking?
Oh, it's a good one. Oh, edge first.
Ooh, breakage.
Still wheeling. Ooh. Go, that's an awful lot of abuse. The only thing that it's done really is probably bent this handle slightly, but it's still really, really well attached. And I didn't try that hard, to be honest. So the aluminium's bent a bit. So this strapping's still okay. The shield's absolutely fine. Not a single crack in it. Little bit of mud on there, but that's about it. Even the paintwork's pretty mint, apart from the star missing. It seems a real shame not to glue it back now and carry on. Using some silicone sealant might be a better idea, because unlike the glue I used previously, this has a little bit more flex to it and probably won't just shatter off like the other did, because apart from that, there's nothing wrong with this. There we go, that's all we need. And to be honest, once I've scraped the excess off, I think that's going to be a much more successful solution. Job done.
The Ninja 94 asks, can I use this in stage fights?
This is the short, vicious little knife I'm going to use. Maybe the sort of thing you get in a street fight or down at the pub fighting over a pint and a packet of peanuts. Say hello to my stunt double and let's see how he survives. In goes Captain America. On goes the shield. The fiberglass, yeah, it's a little bit chipped and the paint's damaged, but I certainly didn't get any real purchase into that, so that's pretty damn good. G'day. Well, first off, this isn't a cheap knife, and that's really damaged the tip of that. You can see that's came off pretty bad. Damage is a little bit greater. It's a little bit deeper because there's more mass there, and it's very sharp tip, but again, there's no serious penetration. It's done pretty well. Let's have a look underneath. Well, no surprise, Captain America is still intact, and if you hadn't have had the shield, it would have been a different story.
So far so good, but because I use it for offense.
Okay, so there's defense dealt with. You'd have been okay after that attack. But what about offense? Could you fight back with it? Good luck, me old beauty. Okay, arm through, glove on. Yeah, that's a mess. You would not want to be on the receiving end of any of that. Smashed into your face, you wouldn't be smiling afterwards. Okay, so what about a roof tile? Now we'll move up to a much thicker concrete roof tile. No problems. Little bit of scuffing, not too bad at all. I suspect this is going to hurt my hands before it hurts the brick. We'll have a go. Oh, gotta stop. Not too bad, but it was hurting my hands. If you look at the handles now, you can see that they're really quite bent and leant forward from attacking those things, but they're actually still quite well attached. There's a little bit of wobble, but if I was to tighten those up, I think that'd be no trouble.
What about serious defense against crossbows?
Yeah! So this is the rig I've got. I've got this sterling board, and on that is attached a shield via a hook. And if we go and have a look at it, you can see it's not that thick, it's about 12 to 15 millimeters. And if we go around the rear, the only fixings you can see is where I've hooked the shield to it. But we should be able to see how much penetration we get off these crossbow bolts, if any. So this pistol crossbow has 80 pounds of draw weight. And this is the ammunition we'll be using. This bolt is aluminium with a steel tip. So there's the damage it did, which is not really a lot. I'd say probably 1 to 2 millimeters of penetration. No big deal. So there's the bolt. It's a little bit bent. I don't know if you can see that. And we've got some fiberglass powder right on the tip. It just rubs off. Now we're on to a full-size hunting crossbow. This is 150 pounds draw weight, and this is, again, the ammunition is solid aluminium with a steel tip. It's a serious piece of kit. Oh. Wow, look at that. It's only managed to penetrate it by, I don't know, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So yes, your arm might now be scratched, or you've got a cut there for sure, but you wouldn't be dead. I mean, look at that, that is ridiculous. Look, let's see if we can pull it out. Oh, no, it's had the head off. Well, that looks like we've got that as a feature now, unless I hammer that out. You might be thinking it, and I certainly am. What about a broadhead? Well, there you go, there's the penetration from a broadhead. Not quite as dramatic as I thought it was going to be honest. There's the broadhead, and there's the peak through the other side, so if it still had the tip on, it would have been a little bit further. But again, survival confirmed. No, I'm gonna have to hammer it out.
But what if we have no shield? So dead.
Well, I've got to be honest, I always knew fiberglass would be tough, but I didn't honestly realise it would be this tough. I mean, that's pretty impressive, you've got to admit. What do you think, Lewis?
Good. Boxer asks if it's stronger than a flying sled. Baba.
No, it's not broken. And you know what? It's in really good condition. It survived that, it just flexed a bit.
Yes, it's strong, but what about thermite?
Load the thermite. It's not gone through, it's took a little bit of the surface paint off, but I'm thinking a direct load of thermite straight on the top and we'll see what damage that does. This time I've built one of these pot containing rings. Now it has no choice but to go through the shield. Well, there we go. Oh, it has started to eat through, but it's still put up. It's gone through to about 3 or 4 millimeters, but it's put up a lot more resistance than I actually thought it would. Let's have a look at the back. Back's still intact.
Hammer attack!
Can you just die?
Baseball bat attack!
Well, there you go. It's took everything we could throw at it, apart from firearms, which we haven't got. And it did pretty well, didn't it, Lewis?
Yep.
There you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, why not consider liking or subscribing? And if you want to make a shield just like this, or you want to check out my other stuff, click on the links here or in the iCards.